13 sessions later, Mutant Year Zero for the Gauntlet Hangouts. This is part of the Gauntlet quarterly experiment to see if we can do open table for 3 months. It's a slightly different approach than some of the sort of episodic things that some of the other GMs have done. I've tried to do a little more continuous. So it's an interesting experiment. We'll talk a little bit about that at the very end of the session. I definitely want to get to Roses and Thorns today. We are playing using Roll20, so you'll hear us referring back to that. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. You can check us out on gauntlet-rpg.com. And we are going to get into it. A couple of mechanical things. Don't forget, at the beginning of session, add a mutation point. Keith, you would have actually started with 3 mutation points, so go ahead and take yourself up to 4. So make sure that you have those. I'm going to frame the scene that we're in, the situation. I'll let you ask questions about where we're at, and we will get rolling into it. And we can get started on that. Are there any questions before we get rolling? No? Okay. All right. So last time you found some information pointing at some sites. Our new chronicler, Elias, was able to track down information within the late elders' quarters that pointed at some things. And the group also discovered that some members of the community, particularly some chroniclers and a couple of others, had headed out strangely into the wastes, out into the zone. And there was some suspicion that they might have been coerced or pushed or controlled by the Pink, the sort of force that had mind-controlled people on the Ark and had caused a series of problems. So the group followed the trail out into that area, finding at least one body along the way. And eventually, at the very end, after some escapades, including some magnets, how do they work? And out there, this vault. And when they approached the place marked as a vault, they found kind of the garbage mounds that they had seen elsewhere out in the zone, like that, but also clearly a building kind of sheltered and buried under this. Maybe it goes into the earth. It's unclear. There's big doors on the front of this building. Outside, out sort of in the facing area, maybe looking like they're watching the doors of this building, are a group of humanoid figures. They're all wearing these kind of orange jumpsuits that cover them completely. They have like eyeglasses and masks and things like that. There are probably about 7 or 8 of them, plus a leader, clearly a taller one whose suit is made out of various pieces of these sort of rad protective suits. His is kind of stuck together. He's a good 7 feet something tall, huge mammoth. Looks like he's the leader. They are in the process of cooking one of their prisoners, who clearly is one of the people who you were tracking. They definitely seem to be cannibals, something you'd heard about in the zone before, people had talked about before, but you hadn't yet seen that. And they have a couple of people as hostages, sort of tied up, including a couple more of the survivors from your Ark that are out there. They haven't seen you. It's dusk. You've come up on them. You parked the vehicle, your own car, a ways away because you didn't want to alert anybody because you saw the campfire that's there. So let's come into that scene. Did I miss any crucial details in the telling of that? No. Okay, good. Well, that's a first. So let me then start with you any KO. Seen this situation. What are you thinking? What do you want to do?
I think I think that at this point she's got her bow out and she's picking a place and she's looking to the other ones, but she's clearly ready. She essentially kind of puts her bow up and it's clearly pointed towards the really big guy. And she's sort of waiting for the other ones to do something and clearly expecting them to essentially get ready for a fight.
The other ones, us, or the other ones, those guys?
You guys. I'm trying to keep it quiet and stealthy. So if I wanted them to get all ready for a fight, I'd be yelling.
If you're not maneuvering into a different position, if you're just kind of resting there and taking the time to aim, you can certainly do that, and I won't have you make any kind of sneak roll or anything like that. Let me then check in with your enforcer. Usually the first in there, the most dangerous of you in some ways, and the sneakiest of you in some ways. What is it that Obakai is going to do?
I don't know if Obakai is going to pull the classic Predator move in here because they don't want to drop all their armor and gear in order to kind of get invisible. So I think they just get a hair tie out, tie their wig back up in a ponytail, and they're probably, as soon as everyone's ready to go, if we're going to be moving in, I think they would just charge out basically.
Okay.
And try and be loud and distracting to give the others a chance to get a good shot off.
Okay. So from where you're at, it's going to be a good run move across to get to them, just to tell you that. Unless you want to try and sneak in to get closer into position to make that move.
Yeah. I think I'd like to get in a little better of a spot. If anyone would like to come with me, we could head up there together. But I think I'd like to be within, 20 or 30, 40 feet kind of, so I can just close the distance quickly.
Actually, within a maneuver action, a move up to close the gap. Sure. So in that case, let's have you make that sneak roll.
I'll head up with you.
Okay.
If Syntax does not wish to.
I see what I did last time. I put a point into to aim, so I'm equally good with my katana as my bow, so I could do either.
Okay.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay back, or do you want to head on up?
Yeah, maybe I'll stay back because it looks like I'm damaged as well in
Okay.
3 categories.
So you will be able to aim, okay, which will give you a bonus here. So let's have you, Matt, make that sneak roll. If you can get 2 successes, then Elias doesn't need to roll. You can bring him in. If you just get 1, then Elias or Elias, I'm going to, by the way, say it 3 or 4 different ways throughout the course of the session. That is how this is going to work. If so, he'll have to roll. Sound good?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. I've got 4 dice here.
Okay.
I sent it. It doesn't seem to.
Oh, it's there.
There it is. That's no good.
There.
I'm pushing that.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right. Elias, it's kind of up to
Yikes.
you now to keep this from going pear-shaped.
well, that's unfortunate for everyone involved. I have... So this is going to be agility? Yeah.
Agility plus sneak.
Of which I have none.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm sure I don't need it.
Okay.
Actually, maybe that's what I... Yeah, I'll buy 1 die of sneak.
Hey, that sounds like a good idea.
That's what I'll use my points for. And
You've got a success.
yes, but
Are you happy with that?
so what? I have the scary symbol as well.
Okay, so the scary symbol means that you'll take 1 point of damage on your agility if you re-roll.
Okay. And if I don't have an additional success, Obukai.
Then you're going to be fine. Obukai is going to be out and exposed.
I mean, Obukai is big and tough.
He is very tough.
And eventually wanted to be exposed. Anyway. Do I have him backwards?
Yeah, you do. So actually, if you re-rolled, you wouldn't have damage because that 6 on the other one wouldn't go. So if you want to re-roll.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I will. So I put, sorry, just to make sure I get it right.
First.
So,
the roll on the yellow, that would have been a 6 there. That would be your skill die, and skill dice don't cause damage.
so in the algorithm, it's attribute skill.
It's skill stat gear, which makes no sense.
Okay,
It never will.
Skill stat gear. I think I might have been doing that wrong last time too. Okay. Well, can I just hit the button then, or will it still be?
It'll be fine.
It will not be incomprehensible.
Okay. Now, so you are not going to take 1 point of damage, but you do get 1 success. You cover yourself, but you do not cover Obukai. Okay. So I'm going to pause here and tell you, you've kind of moved up. You're undercover. You've moved up such that you can, on your action, kind of move and get close there, Elias. For any KO and syntax, you've aimed and braced. And that means you get 2 extra bonus die when you go to shoot, okay? On this action. After this, you'll get essentially your aim will be used up at that point. We technically get 1 more die from. Oh, you're right. That would have re-rolled. So roll me a d6. Let's see if you get a 6. If you get a 6, then Matt is not spotted.
It's a miracle. Nope.
That is not a miracle.
It was a good try.
Okay.
Good try.
So, Elias, where do you suppose you found cover? What have you moved up to when we see this scene? Where are you hidden away?
I think. I mean, are they on top of the mound?
So they're down at the base, sort of outside of these doors, and there's plenty of garbage piles around.
Okay, yeah. Then I think conveniently placed truck door or something like that.
Got yourself behind that. Give yourself a little cover from range attacks. Give yourself a little armor there. You two, NEKO and Syntax, you kind of probably up a little bit. Give yourself some angle. And you go to make that move to go in. What goes wrong, Obukai? What is the thing that gives you away?
I think that it's like a low shot of like my big crocodile feet just kind of like carefully trying to avoid the garbage. And then I step on like what used to be like a squeak toy or something, and it's just a from where I am. And I immediately just probably try and get out of the way, but I know that they heard me.
Okay. So you will kind of dive forward and you kind of lose your initiative on this. And you will see that they kind of turn. The dim light clearly doesn't bother them. They can kind of pick you out very quickly. And the bigger one will shout a growl, clearly directing his associates to kill you. You kind of get that. Okay. You're going to go at the end of the round, Obukai. So let's have everybody else make an initiative check here now.
I don't get a surprise one because of Obi. Nice one, Obi.
I tell you what, I'll give you an extra die on your attack for the surprise.
Oh, okay. I should complain more often.
So for that, you roll a straight d6 and add your agility to it.
All right, and I have 1 point off that. 1d6 plus 4. Oof, rough day.
Gotten regular dice syntax, and I'm doing it in the Hangouts. That's why it is not doing jack diddly.
I would like to roll 2d6. Oh no, what's happening? This
Okay.
is all the cheating as usual with love.
Any KO, what was your initiative total?
You're muted, Sherry.
Dang it. It was 7.
7. Syntax,
Was 5.
5. Elias,
Also 5.
5. Okay. So they move much faster than that. And you're actually kind of surprised, and about 4 of these guys come running at you there, Obakai. And I will say, given the circumstances, that 2 of them are going to get swack at you. They're going to get up. Essentially, they rush up. They've got these suits. They've got bicycle chains, and they bring them up to swing and strike at you. And let me get my syntax here. So they swing up on you, and they are going to do looks like just 2 points of damage to you.
I'm going to roll my hockey pads.
Please do.
Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
They bring it up on you, and they whip you with these heavy chains, and you kind of bring the pads and the armor up, and it bounces off of you.
I think it's goalie Obakai. I'm just, blocking the shots.
The other 2 are kind of moving to get into position behind you, to flank you. The boss and the other 3 are kind of looking around, even as we go to this group. Any KO?
Okay, those ones that are moving to flank Obakai, I'm going to put an arrow through the neck of one of them.
Okay. So shoot plus agility plus 2 extra dice.
Look at all those dice. Holy smokes.
Oh.
At least I do some damage. Okay, so 3 points. So that turns into, let's see here. I don't know.
If you could do, you could do 2 points. Do 2 points base, and then if you add extra damage, that'd be 4 points.
Okay. Sure.
So he sprouts an arrow from his neck. Essentially, he's coming up to get behind Obakai. You can see he's pulling out another set of these chains, and then he sprouts the arrow and staggers back. Clearly has no armor. These suits don't act as any kind of armor for them, and they drop. And there are fewer of them than there were just a moment ago. What about you, Syntax?
The last of us, another one.
Okay, 2 extra dice for the aim, 1 extra dice for surprise.
Oh. I must be able to pull it off. Let's see. My shoot is 3 now, so that's pretty good. And I'm adding the bonus to the first one, right?
You add it to the first one, to the skill dice. Or sorry, to the skill dice.
Yeah.
Easiest way to do it.
And my bow has 1. Wow. 1 damage. 2 damage.
So what's the base damage on that weapon?
Just 1.
Just 1. So that will catch the other guy that's coming up behind, and we'll send him back. He's still alive, but he is reeling from that shot. Essentially, that probably buries itself in his shoulder. And now Obakai only has 2 people on him. but there's the big guy and his cadre over there. Elias, what do you want to do?
And I'm like, whoa, he's moving like Patrick Waugh when he was a good goalie for Obi.
Watch the 5-hole. I am feeling like there is a talent that I want here.
Okay.
I believe there's a chronicler talent that lets me inspire people to fight real good.
Okay.
Yes, agitator. So I am going to cheer on Obakai because I think Obakai has a much better chance of going house on these fools
Okay.
than even an action chronicler might possibly have. Although I've got my machete ready if stuff comes down to it. So I think basically what that looks like is me yelling out the position of the one that's trying to get behind Obakai, like left shoulder. Actually, I'm picturing it now in goalie talk. Like,
Okay.
"What?
No. So do you want to roll that with your fight or your shoot?
I think fight. Yeah. Because
Okay.
he's hand to hand.
That seems good to me. Then go ahead and roll your fight. I will give you the extra die for surprise.
Oh, or do I roll inspire because I'm inspiring him?
Yeah, hang on a second. I think when you roll inspire with agitator, you roll with your fight or shoot skill, but with your inspire stat.
What?
Let me check that. Oh no, it's when you inspire someone to fight or shoot. So yeah, just make a standard inspire roll. I apologize.
Okay. And what does the +2 get added to?
So that gets added to your skill dice.
And it goes skill first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then stat, then gear.
I don't have any cigarettes, so I'm not inspiring you with my gear. All right. I think I got it. Let's see. Wow.
All right.
It was just not that good.
But it is an additional success that Obakai has now on his roll when he goes to fight or shoot. So that's pretty solid. And what does that look like?
That's me calling out. You like the duck right, swing left. He's coming over the top.
Obakai, you hear that? You got that inspiration behind you. There is one injured person here and two that are in front of you with chains that are uninjured. And then there's the big guy and his people there.
I think I'd like to. I don't need to deal with the injured folk. I think I'd like to take the two able-bodied people on in front of me with Coach cheering me on. I think
Okay.
I whip my scrap axe out and I'm going for it.
Okay, go ahead and make that fight check.
All right. Oh. So it's an extra success automatically. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We add it in after the fact. All right, so that's two successes. What is your damage with that weapon?
My damage is 3 default.
Okay, do you want to use that extra success for damage then?
They have weapons, you said?
Chains, bicycle chains.
Bicycle chains.
If
I
you
might
want,
like to.
you could
Yeah.
use the extra success to put the other guy out of position.
One of the two that are facing me.
Yeah, essentially you kill one, and then the other one essentially you fling the body in their way so they can't hit you on this round.
That sounds great. I'll do that.
That seem cool? Okay, and that's what you'll do. Essentially, just kind of catch that first one with that scrap axe, and he'll go sailing into the other person and knock him down.
Nice.
We'll kind of come around to the top of the next round, and they go. This guy spends his action getting up. The injured one is going to try and hit you with that bicycle chain then, Obakai. A little worse now. But he will actually hit you, and his bicycle chain will break. He will hit you for 2 damage.
And none of my armor protects me, so I'll take the 2.
Okay, he catches you across the neck with that probably. And it's got those burrs, and it's heavy, and it hits into there and kind of knocks you sideways.
Maybe it pulls my wig off too.
Yeah, probably like, whoa. And you will see the big guy sees that you've gotten hit. So he is actually going to run at the closest person who's not Obakai, which I think is Elias. And then his people are going to take essentially scrap pistol shots at you two kind of up there on the hill. All of you are considered to have cover right now, which is effectively 3 dice worth of armor from having things in your way. Okay, that's the effect of that.
So we had to roll it, hey?
Yes.
Oh, scary.
Which is never good, is it? So Sherry, I'm going to take a shot at you here. And essentially, this one kind of runs for cover, even as he's firing off that scrap pistol, and you hear the crack of that. And then one at you there. Syntax is a shot on you.
Son of a nutcracker.
I need you to roll any armor that you have.
Okay, and the door or whatever, right?
Counts as 3 dice worth of armor.
Okay, and I have a hockey mask, so I have 5 dice in this.
Okay.
So should I just roll?
Just roll 5d6.
Okay.
Any 6s will negate damage. You can be taking 3 points otherwise.
I got hurt.
You take 3 points.
So I'm at 0.
Okay. Can I have you roll 2d6 for me?
To unlock my ultimate mutant power?
No.
I got a 6 or a 5 and a 1, depending on what you need.
5 and a 1. Okay. So you kind of are moving. He's firing the shot, and it ricochets off the garbage that you're in, and you feel it go right through your foot.
Oh.
And you probably look down, and whatever you have that passes for a boot has kind of ripped open, and you can probably see some bone and stuff in there. Okay, even as you fall to the ground. You'll be at -3 to move and sneak tests.
Is that a critical wound?
That is, in fact, a critical wound.
Oh, so critical injuries, that's where I put it?
Yes.
So I say messed up foot.
Crushed foot.
Oh, crushed foot. Crushed foot, and -3 sneak, and
move. And you need medical treatment on there because you could bleed out from it.
Right.
Okay. This big guy is going to try and grab you, Elias. That is his intent. Now, when he goes to do this, you have some options. Even though we haven't acted yet this round, because we're on the second round, you could, if you wanted to, try and burn your action and dodge. Or I can just make that grab attack on you. What would you like?
What is dodge?
That'd be a move roll.
Yeah, that's not super. Yeah, go ahead and grab me.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna machete him when I'm in this embrace.
That is true. He goes to grab you and he does not succeed. So I mean, he comes probably. You've got that you said that like a door of a truck there. He kind of smashes that and throws that aside, but you dodge out of the way at the last minute there. And he is in front of you. Any KO? What do you want to do? Unmute yourself.
I had already pulled my bow and was aiming, so I'm going to put my arrow on the big guy that was racing after Elias.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run for Syntax. But
okay, so you have a choice here. You can use your maneuver to get the aim bonus, or you can use it to move to him on this round.
Aim bonus. I get a full aim bonus.
You get +1.
+1. No, I'll use it to get.
Thank you for laughing at my generous offer. There you go.
Not generous. So, okay. So hey, just 3. I don't even have to roll again. So yeah, I'm gonna lay all 4 points into that big guy.
What's your base damage on that? 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His armor, essentially his skin, will eat some of it, but Elias, this guy takes an arrow through the back, and you probably see him stagger forward from the shot because it hits hard. And he's trying to get himself back into position. Any KO, you will make it over to where Syntax is at on this round.
Does using your mutant power take an action, or can I do that as a quick action?
I think using it is free. It's one of the bennies of the mutant powers, unless it's an attack.
No. It is not. It is a use of
You don't want to kill Syntax because you could do it so easily right now.
I know, just a little to the forehead. But in this instance, 4 mutant points to essentially negate her critical injury. So it's just straight. That's all it is.
All right. Roll me a d6.
Okay.
Is that a 5? So that will work. What does that look like as you spend your powers to heal up Syntax's foot?
Okay. I lean down and so essentially she puts her hands on it, and Syntax really doesn't see anything. Her foot starts feeling numb and then okay. The one thing that you will see though is that Annie KO's feet sort of stretch out, and her like foot is just almost like it's changing shape, and her toe it's like it doesn't fit in her boots anymore. So both of her feet change.
Why did that happen?
Because the more she heals people, the more she changes form.
Oh, so what are you turning into?
I don't know, like kind of more like you know how a 4-legged animal has like the feet with the hock up high. It's like her heel has like she has a really high arch, and her heel doesn't rest comfortably flat on the ground anymore. Oh. So more tiptoey than anything else.
Well, thank you for your sacrifice, Bambi.
She had no idea it was going to happen.
Syntax, you are at 0, but your critical injury has been healed. I will say that this will put you back to 1.
Sweet. So,
what do you want to do?
I can't heal normally, right?
Well, healing normally will take time.
Right. Okay, I'll stay back and shoot a scrap rifle. I don't think it's wise to go zooming in there.
Do you want to shoot at one of the 2 people with scrap pistols? Do you want to shoot at the big guy? Do you want to shoot at the ones on Obakai? What do you want to do?
Probably within the fiction, I'd be pretty mad at whoever shot my foot.
Okay. You can certainly shoot at one of the scrap pistol guys who's running for cover.
Yeah. Yes, I would like to do that.
Make that shoot roll.
So that would be a 3. My rifle. I think this is the first time I'm using my rifle.
Really?
Yeah. Nope. Makes sense. I'm messed up.
Okay. So you go to shoot, and it does not land, and he kind of chuckles as he runs to cover, going to get another shot at you. Elias, this big guy's in front of you. He's kind of reaching back to get this arrow out of his back, and it looks like he's gonna bring up his hand to try and crush your skull here in a second.
So what I'm hearing is he's exposing his sternum very nicely for macheteing.
It could be. That could happen. Or acid spit.
Oh, acid spit. That is also. That only does 1 point of damage, though. And I feel like a machete.
That's true.
Damage in the chest area.
That is very, very true.
I'm going to try
Can you
that.
send multiple mutation points for more points of damage?
No, but what it does is it continues to do damage every round to him.
And would it bypass his armor?
It doesn't. Armor works against the acid.
Yeah.
But if he has a simple lock, I can melt that open.
Yes, there's that. His belt. His pants fall down.
Now his
Wah, wah, wah.
pants are around his ankles. He can't move. Oh, but guy, you got this guy.
All right. If you want to do it's fight plus strength. If I take that machete shot, I believe the machete gives you two gear dice, right?
Yeah, it does. So here we go. That's 7 dice. I like it. Here we go.
Yep.
It's going to be an amazing roll. I mean, there was a success, so that was nice.
So what's
And,
the now? You want to push it?
I do want to push.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh no!
So you take a point of damage, and your machete breaks by 1 point. So essentially it bends when it hits him. But what's the damage on the machete?
Do I even know? A 2.
2. So now the first success is going to do 2 points of damage. The extra success can be used to push him back, do another point of damage, take something away from him. What do you want to use that extra success for?
I think I like the idea, if it can work, of putting him out of position, so he's less able to defend himself.
Absolutely. So he is going to have a significant penalty if he wants to try and attack you on this following round. And none of his armor works on that. So he is actually in quite bad shape there. That cuts there deep into that. And it's probably now that you're kind of up close, you'll realize you can now see sort of beneath this suit, that grayish skin. And you realize that these people are not humans or even mutants like yourselves. These are what are called zone ghouls. They typically stay out of the light. They're clearly wearing these outfits to protect themselves from that. And they certainly seem more organized than you've heard of these creatures being. But this one is now bleeding kind of black-red blood out of his midsection from that hit.
Oh, yeah.
Obakai.
So is the machete trash now, or is it somewhat useful?
What it is it's now only 1 gear die. If it loses the other one, then it's going to be broken. Obakai, here, end of this round. Got a couple, got the wounded guy behind you. Got the one guy out of position. You've got some people with scrap pistols, and you've got your action chronicler actually macheteing the big bad.
Well, I am 2 damage away from going down, so I might not want to run entirely into the middle of everything. I don't know, it's ridiculous, but I think I might just deal with the people over here. So one of the guys has an arrow in his neck, so he's in a bad way, right?
Uh-huh.
So the other guy, I think I'd like to turn on him and kind of just advance on him, this big, scary 7-foot crocodile person. And I'd like to use my mutation power to entrance a humanoid with my reptilian eyes, so I can make him suffer a point of confusion per MP spent. So I guess as much as I need to, I guess 4 to be safe, or
2.
2.
Takes 2.
Then I would like to drain all, or I would like to max him out on confusion, so that he is out of it.
Okay, then just roll 2d6 then.
Sure thing.
As long as you don't roll a 1 on either of those.
Double 4s.
Double 4s, you are safe. So what does that look like when this happens to this guy? Because you like, he loses it.
Yeah, so I think I'm kind of like crouched down, and I turn up and I look at him like, Predator style, and I like brush the red hair out of my eyes, sort of, and I just give him like this like terror eyes, basically. Like I think it just inspires like dread in him, sort of like my pupils get really big, like anime style, and there's like those lines on my face, and it's just like this horrifying crocodile person just staring him dead in the eyes.
Perfect. And he will run. I mean, he takes off running after that, doing that kind of stumble run of pure stark terror from him.
And then I'd like to use my maneuver to run over to where the group is at, so I can hopefully get involved with this big dude.
Okay. So get over to get by Elias and the big boss.
Right. I guess Elias is separate from the other two who are kind of in cover shooting, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, I'd like to sort of regroup a little bit if I can.
This guy with the chain behind you, which will go on to that next round, is going to take a shot at you. He is already injured, so we'll try and hit you. And he will not. Essentially, he whips that chain at you as you go past and doesn't connect with it.
No, lol. Oh, dang it. I wanted you to push it so then he could knock himself out.
I can't push it. That's an unfortunate side effect of being the GM, is these poor creatures cannot use the same kind of luck and kill themselves like you guys can. So the big guy, wounded, is again going to try and get his hands on you because he seems to realize he needs to have a hostage in this situation here. So let's see. It is skill at stat. So Elias, he reaches out and he grabs you by the shoulder and pulls you and kind of holds you in a clinch. And he's going to do 1 point of strength damage to you. He is kind of squeezing you tight, kind of lift you up off the ground. The two gunners will again take shots at you. You still have cover there, Sherry and NEKO and Syntax. So that's going to be that. So NEKO. Well, this guy's pistol breaks, but he's going to do 2 points of damage to you. You may roll your cover armor.
I think it's 3, isn't it?
It's 3. One more die.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I have armor too. So I was rolling my armor. So
okay. Roll 3 more dice. Bounces off that cover right there. And then and his gun breaks with that roll. And 1 point on you, Syntax.
Okay. So I'll roll 5d6. 3 for cover, 2 for hockey mask. Aha!
Look at that. There's that
Bounces
bounce.
off my hockey mask.
Okay. Yeah, probably embeds it in there like it's stuck in the, a little bullet casing melted into that.
Yeah.
Any
And
KO looks at me and is like, for a second, maybe thinks that I'm dead, but then I like move the mask.
and laughs. Eddie KO.
Yeah. I think I gotta try to drop that big guy. Can I get a shot at him?
Sure. Just don't miss because he's holding Elias.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. Just don't miss.
Yeah, that's right. Exit. Okay. All right. Fingers crossed.
Oh, nice.
2, so I can do 3 damage more to this guy.
Okay. So this guy grabs you up, Elias, and kind of spins you around to be body armor, to put you in the way between the ranged people. And you see NAKO pops up, and she doesn't hesitate. She sees you, you're in the way, and she doesn't even pause. And she fires that off and catches this guy. You probably hear the arrow whistle past your ear as it drives itself into this guy's cheek. And he will stagger back and he will fall to the ground dead. What do you do, Elias?
So, who is still left around Obakai?
Right now, there's a guy with a chain who is rethinking his life choices, is probably going to take off. There's a guy with a broken gun who's seeing how the situation is going, but there's another guy who still has his gun out and is taking pot shots up, trying to hit Syntax some more.
Yeah, people that are far away are not really my forte.
Could rush them.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna rush the guy with the gun.
Oh, fair enough.
So this guy with the chain that is thinking about taking off, I'm gonna sense his weakness, and I'm gonna chase him down, and I'm gonna try out my acid spit on him.
Okay. Spend that mutation point. And roll me a d6. You just don't roll a 1. So this guy has like 1 hit point left, which is exactly what your acid does. He's starting to turn. What does that look like? What happens?
So he's starting to turn away in the like, I am no longer interested in pursuing this course of action. So I think how close is he to Obakai?
Maybe about 10 feet.
Okay, so this isn't the one that actually hit him with the chain.
Hit him as he ran past.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I think he just starts to go, and just as he's planting his back foot to drive, it's just on some piece of like trash, like a diaper or something. He slips just a little bit and can't quite make it out of the way. As this just you see coming into the frame, this gob hits him on the arm, and as he looks down, his arm is falling off and starting to like dangle by the sinews.
Oh yeah, that the bone and the smoke of the acid burn on that, and he doesn't even have time to kind of register a scream as the shock catches him, and he will just drop to the ground. Obakai, have you ever seen Elias spit before?
Definitely not. So I just turn and I'm just like, ugh. What have you been
Everybody's
eating?
always judging me.
I'm sorry. It was cool. It was cool.
Syntax.
I'll try to return fire again at this person who's laughing at me. because they're jerks.
He's laughing less now that his boss and everybody else are out of commission.
Yeah, well, the way I've been rolling, he could probably keep laughing. So we'll see. Oh, there we go.
So how much damage does that do?
3.
So
actually, it might be 4. Actually, let me just double check the rifle. Yeah, it's 4. Actually, it does 2 damage.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, some of it gets caught on his cover, but not enough to keep him from dying. Essentially, he's kind of popped up to take another shot at you, and you'll catch him just as he comes up. And the rifle's a pretty high-powered thing, so he'll probably lift up and crash to the ground off of that shot.
And I like spit blood and look at any KO, and I'm like, "Who's laughing now?"
Obakai, there is one guy with a broken pistol left. It looks to you like he is going to take off. Do you want to run him down, or do you want to let him go?
And I get the impression that he is a ghoul, or
yeah. Now you've seen these things up close. You realize that they're zone ghouls.
Yeah. Then there's no reason to keep this fool alive. I think Obakai goes into hunter mode and starts just like charging and like sprinting almost on all fours a little bit and going after them.
Make a simple fight check. If you can get a success, I think you can take this guy down. Otherwise, something else happens.
A gator running at you with a like red-haired wig would freak you out, probably.
All right. Oh. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I need to roll one more die for my Scrap X specialist bonus.
Okay. See if you can get a 6 on that die. No.
Nope. All right.
Do you push it?
I'm 2 away from going down. So if another one comes up a wound, then I just go down right now. I don't know if it's worth it.
It'd be hilarious. I mean, awesome.
And then someone could just heal me. All right, I'm pushing it. Oh, wait, but I get one more die, right? Because that one didn't reroll.
Right.
All right.
This zone ghoul will tell this story to its zone ghoulets for decades to come, of the day that he just managed to get away from this horrible lizard person. After the boss was killed, this 13-foot tall lizard man came rushing at him, but stepped on yet another one of these dirty diapers that was laying around and lost his footing. And this ghoul vanishes off into the garbage heaps there, and he's just that close.
But then he runs into the possum.
You didn't bring the possum with you.
Should have brought them with you.
That's what's so extraordinary about it.
And some of you are injured. Some of you quite badly injured, right?
Yes. So
and the technical term for me is not injured, it's fucked up, I think. I'm like, yeah, messed up.
You'll finally we'll look over and you see there are 3 people tied up from your camp, from your arc. They're still there. One of them is clearly dead, but he's still tied to the other 2. And they're just kind of mouths agape.
Okay. So I think I will help Syntax over there. Set her down. Get everyone else who's wounded together. Give them regular food. check in with the guys who are still tied up and go, okay, you okay? I'm just trying to get a sense of where they are right now.
Why don't you make a sense emotion roll for me?
Oh, shoot. Why do you make me do these
Or
things?
you could ask the chronicler, who might be good at this, to do that.
I can sense emotions for you if you.
Would you please? Because I can't sense them at all.
Yeah. So don't you say, hey, maybe you should get a sense of what's happening over there.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry about shooting right past you.
That was really awesome.
So yeah, roll, kind of move over to these guys. Their friend is or at least their colleague here is dead. There are two of them that are left. One of them is a chronicler, a little bit senior to you.
All right, one success.
One of these two, essentially the non-chronicler, he's just like a servant that they brought along. He's managed to survive. He's hardy. He's tremendously scared. You have the sense that he was probably coerced into coming. Maybe the others used mental powers to convince him, because everyone that left the Ark on this trip, all the major people had mental powers. So he's terrified, and we'll call him Treble. So Treble's terrified. The other guy, the chronicler, who his name is Zebart. He's pretending to be terrified.
Interesting.
I'm
not going to say anything to anybody about that.
Fair enough.
At least in his hearing.
Okay. So it's getting dark. There's this fire and this hellish smell. There are those big doors. There are these two survivors, and there's some people who are injured. You could conceivably camp out here and do some healing. You're muted, Sherry.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It does?
Yeah, I think we could get back to the car. Trouble can sit with us. I don't know about these other guys. Can we have any idea of what's in this big building?
The vault.
Have people come and gone?
So you want to check out the building, is what I'm hearing.
I take a cursory glance. Do I see anything that suggests to me that people come and go from this place?
Yes. It's clearly traveled. Clearly people have come and gone from it.
But no one came out.
Judging by the map that we have, is this the area that would be labeled vault?
Yes, it is.
So if the pink, and if we suspect that the pink might have taken over these people, I don't know if that's something that we all have discussed or think, then it could be feasible that the pink was leading them here for whatever reason, or maybe something else came over them. But I think it's definitely worth checking this place out. Obakai is very curious, but they're also willing to listen to whatever everyone else wants to do, because they are badly injured.
So are we close enough that this building could be the vault, or no?
Oh yeah, this is definitely that sector.
Okay.
Based on the map.
Yeah, we might want to be in fighting trim before we check out all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm already passing out. I'm barely big, but held up by somebody.
Could just curl up under a garbage pile.
Yeah, sanitary healing.
Okay, well, I can go around, get the car. pick you guys up. Trouble. These guys, I guess we take them back. Who knows what they're up to? Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, is go back and get the car and bring it
Okay.
around
All right.
and load everyone up.
I'll come with you. You shouldn't be walking without someone to watch your back.
Okay.
And I picture me with my scrap rifle in hand, looking really messed up, and I'm like, "You two, just wait right there," like slumped against a pile, trying to look menacing, but really messed up, like Die Hard menacing at the end of the movie instead of the start.
They look at you, and then their glance probably moves from you over to Obakai, and that certainly will put them fearful. So is the plan to bring the car back and then use that to essentially provide shelter for recovery? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, or at least move people off if we need to do that. So it's
We could maybe scout out a safe place, but I don't know if Syntax is in a position to do that.
she's got a point. She's fine. She's fine.
So you can get the car. It's got some space. You've got some of the like covers and tents and things that you have. You have the air mattress, the grand artifact that you recovered early on. So you can camp, in the car a little ways away from these doors, such that you can keep an eye on them, but give yourself some cover. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Okay.
Can we sort out the thing with these two?
Well, let's do the healing first.
Okay.
Figure that out now.
I just wanted to, while we are going to get the car, that was really an excuse to tell NEKO about Z-Bart.
Oh.
And say he's not nervous. He's pretending to be nervous. To what end, I couldn't say.
Well, I think the only way to deal with that is to punch him into oblivion.
Nod at your wise words.
All right.
Do you think he's been taken by the pink?
See, the only way that we could tell, the only way I could tell, because I'm not very good at these things, is like when they went all pink. And she kind of does this, you know? Like it comes out of their mouth. I don't know if you've seen it. It's horrible.
No indicator before that?
Well, everyone else says they act weird, but I didn't notice. So I don't know.
Not being terrified of zone ghouls does strike me as a bit odd.
Yeah. Okay,
It makes me think that whatever Z-Bart is, he's more frightening than a zone ghoul.
Okay. Ooh, wait. You know who might be able to help us out is Trouble. If we can get him alone.
He really is terrified.
Okay. How about we separate them up then? And you can go talk to Trouble? Take Obakai with you?
Well, why don't you bring Treble with you to the car then? Like while you're doing this, like you could have had this little exchange right before you started walking.
I don't think he wanted to while we were near Z-Bart.
Yeah, we can catch up with him later.
We'll get it.
Oh, and I say, I think this is yours. And I hand you the bloody arrow that was in the guy's neck.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I hate having to find... I hate buying these things. She sort of wipes it off on her pants and sticks it in her quiver. With the other 3 she's got.
It was impressive how you knew you wouldn't hit me.
Yeah, I just felt it.
And I give you a look like, that's what it was, right?
So now, I believe that both you and NEKO, once you get this back, that Elias and NEKO both have heal, right?
I do have some heal, yes.
Okay. So you can do heal checks. If NEKO assists you, she can give you an extra die for that heal check.
And that is probably the kindest thing I can do because my empathy, which is what's required to heal, is very low. So I will give you a +1 to your heal.
Okay.
Oh, we don't just eat stuff or whatever?
We'll do that too.
Well, what it is to do heal, get that sort of out here in the field to get that healed up. Requires a heal check, and then for each point you want to heal, it also that'll actually also cost you a grub.
I think this is more trad than traditional. Lol.
This is the hard part.
I'm looking at the Bonesaw talent, which is a +2 mod for when you heal a critical injury. I'm not sure what a critical injury is, though.
That was the thing that was the busted foot.
Okay.
That Sherry has that parasite talent that allows her to heal that.
So none of the remaining injuries are critical.
No.
Okay.
Everybody's just down health.
Heal. 5 and I'm sorry, Sherry, what is it that you're giving?
1 extra die.
And that is to the first of the 3 categories.
Skill. Yep.
I knew I
You
wouldn't
are
remember the
healing
name.
right now?
Yep.
So who should I try to heal first?
How much are you down, Obakai?
I am 4 out of 5, so I've taken 4 hits. I've
Okay.
1 away from death, or not death.
Samesies. What away. But you have a higher one than me. I'm only out of 4, so I'm like 25% good.
And you can make a test on each of them.
Okay.
So who's first?
I'll go Obakai first.
Okay.
We'll see if they thank me for that or not. Whoops.
So Obakai, you can heal 1 point. That's basic healing, and it'll cost you a grub.
All right.
But you don't get any further healing. You're going to be down for a while. Now you may make that test on Syntax if you'd like.
Okay. Does that also have the extra NEKO die?
Yes, it does.
It works out better than it did the last time.
Don't push it. You'll get messed up.
Yeah, no, that would be bad news.
So you can heal 2 points, and it'll cost you 2 grub.
2 grub. Thank you very much. This chronicler is the best chronicler we've had.
I feel like it's a low bar, but I will take it.
Yes. First chronicler was his brother, so there you go. Are you injured at all, Elias?
I am also injured. I'm 2 out of 3.
Okay, you may make your test then as well.
Oh boy. I'm picturing trying to suture myself up and how well that could go.
Yep.
Boy, I am just... At least there was success involved in that again.
So 1 success, so that's 2 points. It'll cost you 2 grub. It's a messy, bloody night. Painful. If you have agility damage, any damage on your agility, that just costs you 1 water per point. If you have any doubt or confusion between the sleep and conversing with each other, you can clear that back to full. So mostly it's injuries and impending sepsis that you guys are suffering right now.
Well, I'm 75% better.
The good news is if anyone gets sepsis, that I can heal. But
yeah, just wait for that.
Just wait.
Has anyone appendages exploded? I've got something for that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait.
So now you've got Z-Bart and you've got Treble. You can kind of, in the course of this, separate them. What do you want to do?
I give Obi my hockey mask for a bit because it's intimidating.
Okay.
Also, they're a giant lizard, which is
but it's even better now.
I think it's the wig that's truly terrifying.
Yeah, big red wig.
So would I maybe want to go after like Treble to scare him into telling us, or like, as if this person's taken by the pink, then they won't be able to be intimidated into telling me anything.
I think if you could talk to Trouble, who is terrified, and go and actually turn your intimidation the other way, that goes, hey, we're here, we'll make sure you're okay, and see if you can get him to tell you what's been going on.
I mean, that doesn't sound too much like intimidation, but
Right, you're right, it's not. All right.
I mean,
Take back my hockey mask.
let me establish this. If you pull Treble away and you start to talk to him and you ask him questions, he is going to answer them as quickly as possible. There is no role involved in this terrified, essentially lower caste mutant who've been dragged out here. And he'll say, I don't know what was going on. I was at the Ark, and then I was out here, and I could hear the voice of, and he points to one of the people who is on the roasting spit, his voice in my head during this, and I think he used his mutant power on me. And I don't want to die out here. I really don't. So if we could make that happen where I don't die, I would be really pleased. I'd do anything, please. Just don't let me die out here.
what do you know about Z-Bart?
He's one of the chroniclers.
Does he seem normal to you?
He's a chronicler. None of the chroniclers seem normal to me.
Yeah. We got one of those with us. He's a whack job. I saw him spit on a guy. It was gross.
When everything was happening with those things, he wasn't at all freaked out. And he and I were tied to Carl, and Carl was dead. Z-Bart didn't like anything.
What did the voice in your head tell you?
I don't know. I was on the Ark, and then I was here, and I could see that like my feet were bloody and stuff from walking. And of course, then there were those things in the suits. I think it stopped being in my head when he got ate. Eaten? Ate? I don't know how you say that.
You said it good. Good enough.
All right.
Well, I don't know what the others have plans for, but I think I might need to go have some words with Z-Man over there.
And you can certainly go back to the group and kind of talk to them before. I assume you keep Z-Bart maybe a little bit away.
Yeah, and I'll fill them in on everything he said. He doesn't know too much. You know, he's spooked. One of the other chroniclers used their mind powers on him.
That's how those other people were acting on the Ark, though. All like, no emotion and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's one of them for sure.
Well,
we stab him.
If we do want to confirm, I could try and like use my my reptilian gaze to get in his mind, sort of, because the last person I tried it on, I couldn't do anything because they had already been taken by the pink. So,
well, if he's taken from the pink, it won't do anything either, right?
Right, but then we'll just confirm that he's far gone. But I guess we're pretty sure of that already.
Yeah, but you're like, why don't we see if he ejects your soul from your body, right? We'll test it.
Yeah, and then I can roll a mutation die, and that'll be fine, right?
We have no possum here to protect us.
Do you want to try and do that to confirm that, in fact, he is under the control of the pink?
I would like to. I walk up with my hockey mask and I look straight at him, and then I just pull the mask off and I just put the eyes on him.
Okay, well, okay. I'll be behind him with a sword, ready to Highlander him.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll a d6 for me? So, Elias, you kind of everyone's recovering, but you'll see Obakai goes over, get Z-Bart up. He's had this conversation, and you'll see probably seen Obakai used this before. They have this weird trance thing on with their vision, and this guy doesn't react at first, but then it starts opening his mouth, and all of you will see this pink glow start coming out from it. And I need you to make an endure roll there, Obakai.
Everyone run. Okay. Let's do this.
Any KO, what color is that? Is that the color pink?
That's the color pink.
I can't tell.
Nail gun up.
The chronicler asking any KO what the color is. Irony.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, no. I told you not to do this, you fool. Wait, are you... Did my mask help?
This isn't physical damage.
Oh, right.
I think I forgot that this happened last time, but I like that I forgot.
I just told you.
Are you going to push it?
Well, if I do, I'm going to go to at least 4 out of 5 damage, if not more. But I don't know what's going to happen if I fail this.
You do know we saw it, Mike. Remember, I succeeded, and my soul still went out of my body, and I was almost about to hurt you. I was about to like stab you with my sword.
Right. Okay. Then I think I want to push this roll.
Please do.
All right.
So that pink comes out, and you see you guys are standing by at ready, and there is that split second where you see Obakai turn, and he's very clearly going to murder all of you.
Yeah, I told you, you fool.
Who goes first amongst the people who are standing by with weapons drawn and such?
I'm gonna chop off his head.
I'll try.
Okay. Roll fight.
Okay. Let's see.
He is. He didn't say you were not. I mean,
No, I would have my nail gun.
Okay, absolutely. So shoot.
A.
I just have to hope that killing this guy actually stops it.
Yeah, exactly.
It has before.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were shooting me.
I did too.
So
Wow.
2 successes.
So how much damage is that going to do?
That would do 3 points.
Okay. So you fire a couple of nails into the side of this guy's head. That pink is probably still kind of coalescing out as Obakai turns. Any KO has shot it. Who wants to go next? Syntax or Elias?
There can be only one.
One
Roll
is too
fight.
many. Make it 0.
Just don't miss.
It's subtly calling me out, I think.
I am.
But I'm good with a katana, so the joke's on you. Maybe. So, okay, I have 3 fight. I've got 3 strength, and my katana does
2?
3.
3.
3.
That's 9 dice. There's almost no chance that you can completely botch this.
Yeah.
That's mean.
Aha! Whoa,
Oh,
I don't want to
God.
push that. My katana will get messed up. Good.
That is more than enough, though, to catch this guy and essentially kill whatever animating force is running that body, and cut that down, and kind of snap Obakai out of this. Elias, this is kind of going on. You probably step back because this is not like anything you've ever seen.
I was ready to take out Obakai if I had to. He's lucky.
Oh yeah.
He's lucky. Yeah, Action Chronicler was here.
I have to bend machete over his head and be like, nah, it's cool, man.
And you will see those big doors. One of them start to open.
Oh no. Was it?
Let's
the
take our
same-
5-minute break then, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
That is an absurdly large mug that you have there, Fraser.
I need to stay hydrated. I love how if I don't get a haircut for like longer than a month, and if I shave, I look like I'm 12 again. It's nice.
I have the haircut that I got today. It's for generic. It just kind of looks the same as ever. I'm at that age where
hair doesn't matter.
my hair doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Actually, Sherry has hair that is made of titanium, and we've been taking these gummy vitamins, and her hair grows like super long and super strong now, and her hairdresser's just like, "What is going on?"
My scissors cannot cut this.
Yeah,
I know the ones that you're talking about. My sister-in-law loves those things. She gets them from Costco. They're like a big jar of them or whatever.
Yep.
She bought them because she wants them for really good nails, I think. Something like that. But I don't know.
Actually, the best gummies I've ever eaten. Bizarre.
So
I don't know.
Your hair will soon get strong as well. Sherry will be the other Weapon X.
So Elias, you guys have moved a ways away. You said you moved the car back. You kind of set up this camp. You've done some healing, and then this whole weird thing goes on with Zebart. But you haven't made a lot of noise because there's the hacking down, and the nail gun is fairly silent. And this is a ways off. Over the shoulders, you will see the one of those big doors come open. What do you do?
Remind me of the geography here.
Imagine that there's a big sort of like, let's say, like vault tech, like vault doors, big ones out there with the garbage dump sort of as a mountain kind of behind it. So it's not easy to see how big this vault is or if it goes down below. You have moved a ways away. There are the various sort of garbage hills that are around. You've moved a ways away from that front, so you can see the doors, but you're not within direct line of sight of them. So you've got some concealment. And it's also fairly dark. Probably it's starlight and moonlight that's just illuminating the scene right now.
Yeah, I think if I'm the first one to notice it, I kind of motion to everybody in that like SEAL team way, like get over there, and like dive behind one of the heaps of garbage, try to be out of line of sight so we can see whatever is opening the door before it sees us.
And Obakai, you kind of come out of that and then get the signal to drop to the ground. And you guys will drop down quiet. Treble is like doing this to keep from screaming after having seen the pink, and the Obakai going to kill him, but he keeps quiet. And you'll see those doors open, and after like it get about halfway open, and one door stops, and you will see some people emerge. It's hard to tell what they look like at this distance, but you'll see three figures that move around, and kind of they're clearly being cautious. They're looking around, and you'll see one of them take something and starts cranking it. And after a bit, it will glow, this lantern, and they're kind of walking around, kind of checking out the scene outside. They're clearly investigating what's left out here, what happened, all of that. But at least from this distance and with this lighting, it's difficult to see what they're like.
So they're investigating the remains of
the zone ghouls that were out there, that campfire the ghouls had, the fight, essentially everything that was right out in front of their doors. They're kind of checking that all out.
Can I get a read on their reaction to that?
Sure, let's have you make sense of motion.
Alrighty.
kind of reading their body language. This is something you're pretty good at.
Maybe not that good. That you can push that, right?
You can push that, absolutely.
All right, worth doing. All right, got a success out of it.
So you get a little bit of doubt there, but they're cautious. They're clearly nervous about this. They clearly are relieved that the zone ghouls are gone, but they're also clearly on edge and nervous. You'll see them kind of check the non ghoul bodies, essentially the couple of bodies of people from your arc, and that sparks a whole conversation. They kind of stop by those, and they're talking more intently right there. They clearly don't know who they are, and they know they're not zone ghouls, and that seems to be striking to them.
But they do seem to have like the full set of emotions, and they don't have any sense that they're being watched, from what we can tell, right?
That seems like a good assessment. Yes.
How said it, other guys? All these people out there waiting for people to come out. I think the pink was taking advantage, and the zone ghouls were taking advantage. I mean, it's like they were locked in there, right?
Well, they couldn't have been locked if they just came out, right?
I'm sorry, they were under siege.
Oh, okay. So you think they opened it because now they somehow knew it was safe?
They hadn't heard anything? Or they just checked? I don't know.
This is their home. They could have some kind of surveillance. They have technology.
Do they?
Well, they have the wind-up thingy.
Oh, yeah, the lantern.
Lantern.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so do you think we should go talk to them? Maybe we should make contact. Maybe Action Chronicler could do that.
I think as you're asking that, like you're probably turning to look at me, and I've already gotten up and started walking towards them.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. So you're trying to present yourself as not a threat?
The good guys.
Okay. So you'll come out, they will come, of course, lantern light comes towards you. What are you saying to them?
Those are our dead. They fell to the zone ghouls.
Who are you?
We come from the Ark, seeking our lost brethren. And we've seen the record, the chronicles of, and I sort of gesture towards whatever they came out of, because I don't know what they would call it.
Let's have you roll manipulate.
Manipulate.
Or even inspire. I would take either one of these.
All right, I'll take that.
I'm going to give you an extra die for a couple of things you said here.
Hey, all right. 2 successes.
2 successes. So they go, no, we come from an arc, from the arc. You don't come, you're not from here. And
he's gesturing back
to the thing, and they're clearly confused by what you've said, and they will step forward, and I will pop some pictures onto the map here. see here.
A
Oh,
really good opportunity for who's on first scenario here.
Yeah. They look pretty cool.
Cool other mutants.
Too bad YouTube will never see them.
Pardon me while I screen share. Get that over there. I can do that.
So it's just 3 of them?
Three. Those are the 3 of them that are there. It looks like 2 women, and then a sort of scaly looking lizardy man.
Oh, it's Obi's father.
And the 2 women are clearly nervous. They're armed, scrap rifles, that kind of thing. And the guy is holding a lantern. He kind of comes forward and he goes, "What is your name?"
My name is Elias. Are you folks behind me? Is everyone else back there?
We're
Okay.
here.
Kind of raises his lantern up so we can see others of you, and kind of sees. And when his lantern light kind of falls on Obakai, he'll be like, "Oh, okay. I am Drist. Where do you come from? You're not part of the Hell Drivers, are you?"
We're not, right? I'm not familiar with it. Okay.
No, we killed some hell drivers.
Okay. Well, you should come in. And the others are like clearly that they're not entirely comfortable with that. But he's like, "No, you can come into the antechamber."
Okay.
Very kind of you.
We would love to.
Follow me. And he'll turn around. The other 2 keep their weapons down. They clearly don't want to look hostile, but they are watching you carefully. Their weapons are very basic, scrap pistol, scrap rifle kind of things, knives. And they will walk you through these doors into a big concrete chamber. It's like these doors can open wide, and this chamber is wide. It probably goes down about like 100 feet. You can see that there are some doors off from here, and at the far end there's like a set of barricades set up, and another set of doors.
I like nudge.
Oh.
What is Drizzt do? Or cool? Or Drizzt, whatever. I like nudge Treble forward. And I'm like, "It's okay, man.
Okay.
It's gonna be all right."
Are they gonna kill us?
If they wanted to kill us, I think they would have tried it by now. Unless
What
they're
if they're
taking.
trying to sucker us in?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
What?
And then I like.
Don't tell Treble that.
He's got a hard
I
night.
just want to go home.
And then I like slowly start walking like a little bit slower than him. And then I just pat him on the back and I'm like, "Just kidding, man. I think we're safe."
You will come inside, and he will go over to like a console that's next to it. You've seen these kinds of things before, and Driss goes and he looks at it, and he does this set of rituals, and then he pushes a set of buttons in sequence, and that door will shut, and there'll be this flicker of like light panels on the ceiling here that will illuminate in here. And he will say, this is, and he points to the person in the gas mask. This is Winwow. And this is Helicarnassus. And points to the woman with the cloak.
That seems like pretty fancy technology.
Yeah.
As far as we're concerned. And have we heard of any other arcs, or did we think we were the only one?
There has always been a deep and abiding suspicion that there must be others.
Okay.
Oh, we knew it all along.
Obi was convinced, and he's like, so... Oh, he says, oh, you're injured.
Yeah, those zone ghouls are pretty nasty. And I'm Enikeo.
And he will turn to Winwow, and he says, go and get the doctor. And
have a doctor.
She's like, again, clearly doesn't really want to do this, but she goes off. He'll say, so tell me, you don't have to tell me where your arc is, but what is it like? Kind of looks at you, Elias. Is it another building like this?
It is nothing like this. It is the bones of a great vessel that was designed to travel the waters.
Oh, we've heard about that. Well, we've seen pictures. I've got pictures of them.
It is a home, but this seems... Your arc is different in many ways.
Well, she's going to be a while to get the doctor. If you're injured, we should take you down we should show you the arc. And again, that woman's like, finally says, I don't know if that's a great idea. I'm not sure that we should take strangers into our home. We don't know who they are. We don't know what they're about.
I get you. We welcomed some strangers in, and they turned out to be from the Pink. Nasty.
What's the Pink?
Maybe don't explain that part.
Okay.
And she kind of stops and she looks at Elias and she goes,
There are many dangers in this.
Yeah.
And I understand. Looking at
Helicarnassus.
Yes. I understand that you are suspicious of anything emerging from the wastes. We would be as well. But there's must be some way we can assure you that we mean no harm.
And he says, I trust you. You seem good. You spoke to me openly. I can read. You seem truthful. I can read that from you. So we will take you downstairs. Never mind what she says. We will go downstairs, and we'll show you. If you will come with us.
I give the one that doesn't like us a bottle of something.
What do you give her?
I don't know. I wrote a bottle of something.
Poison.
No.
I believe you already used
shampoo,
this
right?
up. Remember, this is the hand soap. It smells like strawberries.
No, she got a second bottle of something. You kept handing her bottles of something.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I think I got rid of that other
Oh,
one.
okay. Tell me what this second bottle is of.
Whatever she would like the most.
You're going to tell me what that is.
Maybe it's like another bottle of perfume.
Okay. Take it.
It's yours. A gift.
Okay, but you're not buying me off. She tucks it into her cloak.
Yeah, she probably smells a little bit. She needs it.
He will walk you four down. He kind of stands by Elias. Clearly, he's impressed with that earlier. 2 successes is big in this game. And he will walk you essentially past those barricades down a set of like institutional metal stairs that kind of go back and forth. And eventually open up into some halls and complex. You can see there are rooms off from here. There is that smell of a place that's been lived in. And he will say, so do you have an elder?
No,
Not anymore.
Oh, yours died as well.
As well?
Our elder passed many years ago. And we have been keeping the rituals to run the Ark. But it has been hard because sometimes things break. And we don't know what to do then.
Maybe I can help.
Oh, and you can see as you're moving down here, there are probably another couple of dozen people that kind of come and peek out, other mutants, and things like that. You know, they're kind of there. They've all got scavenged clothing like yourselves, but it definitely looks like maybe there's some uniform bits that they had that have been worked and reworked and saved. And eventually he'll take you to a big room, and you can see that there are shelves and shelves and shelves of books in here, Elias. And eventually that woman comes back and she's got this big metal thing and she puts it down on the table. And she says, this is the doctor. Come and stand by the doctor. And I'll push the button.
What?
I like hesitantly push Obi towards it.
I like step forward a little bit. How does the doctor work?
We push the button, and then the doctor heals you.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I feel horrible. Please. Thank you, doctor.
I'm not the doctor. That's the doctor. She points at the box. Clearly wants to make a distinction that this is the doctor.
Okay. Okay.
And she will have you step up and she will push a button and there will be this kind of scan line that will come up and down. And then there's like some stuff comes out of it, like little spray things, and it's spraying you with some kind of like gel. And when it hits where your cuts are, it'll start to itch. And then it actually starts to suture your wounds closed. Or wherever you've got the bruises, it itches there, and it kind of starts to clean that up.
I like wiggle while I'm itching, trying not to scratch myself.
And Drist says, I was second to the elder. I learned many things from him, and he named me after his favorite. And that is how I am in charge, and I'm in charge when the others are away.
I think when I came in, my mouth dropped a little at the books, and I asked Drist, like, do you mind if I, pointing at the books, and if he didn't, I'm looking through them.
He goes, oh no. Those are elders' things. You would not understand. They have the lettering in them. We have made our own books, and some bring the journals, and people will come over and they've got these journals and they'll open them up, and it's all pictures, sort of hand drawn, little imagery and things like that. They clearly got that kind of stuff, and they're kind of trying to show you that the history that they've been chronicling here.
These are very nice.
This is great.
Oh, yes. So we have tried to create a language, but we stuck with pictures. Because it's easy and everyone understands pictures, right?
Yes. And some still understand perhaps the scribbles in your elder's book.
Everyone will kind of pause at that. Can you read them?
Well, there's only one way to find out. If they don't stop me.
Yeah, no, they kind of watch with like expectantly, like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Open it up. There are all kinds of books here. You've been trained to read. Your mentor taught you how to do that. And there are technical manuals. There are guidelines. There are lab instructions. There are novels. There are encyclopedias. What book do you pick? Yeah. What do you pull off the shelf that you're like, huh?
I'm guessing that like the spines are not well labeled or anything, so it's probably just something random. It's like the driest dishwasher repair manual or something.
Welcome to your Vault Tech dish cleanup and repair assembly system with all kinds of schematics and things like that.
And I
he comes
try
over.
to give a dramatic reading of it.
I'm like, whoa, I'm interested in that. So,
and they go, the elder died. He was going to teach us. We learned the alphabet. But
yes,
it's all sounding out. And we forgot after he taught us that we learned all the rituals. We can make all the things. We can operate all the machines. But
as you say, things break.
Yes.
This says how to fix it. And these, and I gestured at NEKO's hands, can fix it.
And they'll look at you, NEKO, and I think if you let them, they're going to kind of split you guys up for a bit.
When you put it that way,
I'm asking you. They're like, well, one of them goes, oh well, you should come to the food printer. You can fix that.
All right, and I'll tell Elias that he needs to come so that we can find the book. So we'll go to look at the food printer, but so we can find the book. Yeah.
So if you go with them, they will take you down there. They will find the person who's in charge of the food printers. There are like a set of these things. And they say, we take the matter from the grow houses and we put it here, and the machines print the food.
Mm-hmm.
But this one doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
And it's the one that makes the sweet things. So
No.
that's been out for a year.
So the things that taste like strawberries. All right. So essentially, we can see what the model looks like. We have to go back and find the repair manual for this thing.
That seems like a fair assessment. Let me have you make a comprehend roll, Elias.
Mm-mm. Ah, wits. Nuts. None successes.
None successes. Are you going to push that or stick with that?
Would any KO help?
Well, this is to help any KO.
Oh. Imagine if it was trying to find an IKEA manual.
Ugh. I don't know that I have great chances of success. But yeah, I will anyway. I'll push it and take the whatever the wits is. Nope,
Okay.
yeah, that didn't go any better.
So he doesn't find the manual. So you're going to have to go at this yourself, any KO.
Is it looking for the manual or just figuring it out myself?
Figuring it out yourself.
I got the electronic toolkit and I've got jury rig for repair. So I got a +2. That's +4 to my already comprehend skill. So that's 6. Okay. So in theory, I might be able to figure this out.
Okay.
Okay. So I got 1 success. I'll give it another try. Ended up with 2 successes. I'm confused myself for a fierce few minutes, but then get the hang of it.
She spends, and it probably takes a good couple of hours, and they stand around and they will print some food for you. They print like blocks of food that have an odd taste to it, but they'll give that to you, but it actually has taste. And eventually Enikio gets this thing working, and it'll print these bars. And Elias, Enikio, it's like nothing you've ever tasted.
Really?
Oh,
Good,
yeah.
Nothing or
Like good, like, whoa. Like you immediately get that like sugar rush kind of thing.
Ooh. Ooh.
What is this?
It's a sweet thing. The elder used to know the codes, and we could make different sweet things. We know some of the codes for some of the machines, but we don't know them for all of them. So we'll usually switch off. Like we have red block Mondays and green block Tuesdays.
Let's find that book of codes, okay?
This place is amazing.
Let's cut to Syntax and Obakai. Helicarnassus is kind of she's clearly not one of the smart ones. So when all this talk about tech and words and stuff goes on, she clearly sticks by you two to kind of keep an eye on you.
So,
yeah.
This is your arc, this whole place?
Yeah, the elder called it an arc. There used to be more of us.
It's a little weird that, like, you would have an elder, and we would have an elder, and both of them are called arcs. Maybe.
Why would that be weird?
Well, it's almost like the elders knew each other or something, right? Like, what are the odds of them making 2 places calling it the same thing, and us calling our leaders both elders?
Oh, so you don't think they're related?
I think they are related.
I think they do know each other. There's lots of things we didn't know about the elder. There were so many secrets. I'm sure that they would know about this place and kept it from us. Syntax, this is wonderful. I always knew that one day we would lead others into the zone to find a new home, and we found this place. Hella, this is amazing.
Helicarnassus, first of all.
Sorry.
And what do you mean new home?
Yeah, when I heard, as soon as
She kind of looks at you like narrows her eyes. What does that mean?
Well, it's just our home. There's a lot of people that are not good, and here it seems like there are so many people that are good.
There's some assholes here.
Yeah, I got a little too excited, but it's just such a wow. So many wonderful things here.
Because like, yeah, because you're not going to try to invade, because we've fought off people before.
No,
no.
no, not like that. Not like that. I am not an invader. I've always known that there's been some people out here like you that we could meet with and become stronger together. See, AKO is a great fixer, and Syntax is a great stalker and hunter, and I'm a great fighter, and Elias is a good speaker and reader. We all have gifts that we could share with your gifts.
We've been looking for a safe place for some time.
Let me have you roll manipulate.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You still have the hockey mask, probably.
I mean, I would take it because I only have 2 dice, but I don't know.
I think you can take it, the impressive nature of the hockey mask.
Yeah, it's probably just shielding the upper part of my face or something. This definitely might not be advisable. This is just Obi getting so excited that their big dream is finally within reach. And all right, here it goes.
Yeah, we're at the end. Push. No.
She's like real skittish now about all of this. Like, you can see maybe she was going to show you around a bit, but now she's more like, I don't think so. I don't want them to see what we've got here. Syntax?
To get her on our side, I guess I'll like expunge on that, or expound, not
expunge.
I'll kill her to get her to come around. I stab her.
That has been your tactic in the past.
Yeah, not this time though. I think that to try to endear her to us, I tell her about like finding Beira and Helen and bringing them to the Ark and them being in like a not safe place. And we all have people we care about that would like to be in a safe place. And I leave this safe place hanging there. Not like we are coming here.
All right.
That's all he meant. We just needed to be safe at some point. No.
Simple 1 success on a manipulate.
Yeah, I don't have manipulate though.
What's your empathy?
Empathy 2. So just roll. Okay.
Y'all should be having this conversation when I am around.
Yeah, well.
Both of us have 2 empathy and no manipulate.
Dang it. Son of a nutcracker.
She, at this point,
story time's over.
She actually will say, "You two, let's go back upstairs." And she kind of, and some of the other people come over like, "You guys need to go back upstairs."
Sure, we'll go upstairs.
Okay.
I look at Obi, and like as he's going up the stairs, I just kind of like shove him a little bit.
I just hang my head.
You guys have made this sweet stuff. It's really awesome. Somebody comes running in and speaks to Drizzt, and he's like, that's not good.
What happened?
Can we help?
Helicarnassus is the war leader. Well, others are absent, and she apparently has taken a dislike to your companions and has taken them upstairs.
Sounds right.
Oh man, they must have tried to charm her. You both laugh there. I mean, not that I would do any better. Don't get me wrong. I'm terrible with people, I say to Tris.
We should go up and speak to her.
Sure. Let's take some of the sweet things, okay?
Good
Okay.
idea. That will definitely give us gear dice.
And he will walk you through actually what appears to be grow houses here, hydroponic stations, croplands here underground. And he'll kind of take that process and go through those.
And when I see those, I kind of go, wait, I was trying to do this back at our ark. You know, the containers and stuff, we have a lot of water around us.
We have a lot of diagrams.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
I have diagrams, and then we go to the seed vault that is down below. It has all of the seeds, and we pick seeds, and some of them are labeled as edible, and those are the ones we can eat, edible. But the ones there's a little face, where like it looks angry, we don't eat those.
Huh. Okay. That seems reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, and it looks like they have a pretty massive set of croplands down here. They must have access to a pretty sophisticated seed bank. And you will come up, and there's that kind of standoff. Helicarnassus and a bunch of the clearly enforcers for the Ark kind of standing there awkwardly, keeping an eye on Syntax and Obakai, and there's lots of rumbling. Elias, how are you going to diffuse this situation?
If those two need to die for us to stay here, I am okay with that. So, look at Obi and Syntax. What happened?
And Helicarnassus goes, Driss, they said that they were going to come here, that they wanted this to be their new home, and they're invaders. And Driss is like, is that exactly what they said?
Are you sure they weren't just complimenting this place? I mean, it's pretty nice.
We have a phrase from where we come, a home away from home, a place that makes you feel as if I can show you. Oh, I'm sorry, you wouldn't be able to read it, which is a skill that I would bring to this arc if I lived here. But you'll have to trust me that the words say what I'm telling you. It's a phrase that means you're comfortable, that your hosts are so hospitable and charitable and kind, looking at Helicarnassus, that you feel as if you have not left the place you are meant to be.
Let's have you roll manipulate. One gear die for the book, one gear die for dessert.
And that's why I gave you the bottle of stuff.
Because of this stuff. Don't send me upstairs. All right. Well, yeah, there you go. Sweet success.
And once this food gets passed around that they haven't tasted in well over a year, and Driss says they did this without asking us for anything. They just came down and repaired it, and she will be. She'll say, "I'm sorry. Sorry, I mistook your words. I did not understand that they were a secret language from the books. So I did not understand that you were scholars."
But we are just learning as well, so you'll just have to forgive us. We are learning, especially Obi, and I stroke his back a little bit.
And they will show you around. They'll provide you food. They have a distillery, so they can provide you booze to fuel the car. And what is it you want from them?
Move it.
I think it makes sense to kind of like invite, if there are some of them that would like to come to see our arc, that we would invite them to come, and that certainly we would love it if some of our people could come to see their books and help them.
Can I hate to ask this, but could Elias stay?
Yes.
We'll send some people with you. We can exchange. We'll pull seeds. We can give you seeds.
Okay. I mean, that's a nice gift. We would take those back to, because we lost our elder just this year. So we can take those back, and that will give people a new thing to learn. They will like that. Can we come back?
Yes. We'll do this. We'll send some people with you, and Elias, if you will stay, and he'll turn to you, Obakai. Drist says, and if you would stay.
I never want to go back. I will stay.
Good. I will send some people with you, and you can stay. There was another who looked like us, but he died. He caught the sick, and he died. So,
I have never known one that looks quite like us before, and no one in the place I was in before would understand that.
I assume we cut back to seeing Elias already at the bookshelves.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we still talking?
So, NEKO, they will send a couple of people with you. They'll send you great plastic boxes of seeds with you. Syntax, do you go back?
Yeah, I'd try to somehow get us all to move there, I think, especially after our place being so dangerous and their place being so nice.
So we'll kind of split that. Let's do, since we're at time, I'd like to do an epilogue scene here from each of you, if you guys don't mind. Obakai, what do we see from you in this lap? It isn't necessarily the end, but life here, Victoria. What do we see from you in that?
I feel like my big dream while I was in the arc was, the rise of Victoria. Victoria was someone who would stand with me, someone who I felt somewhat safe under, and I felt some connection there, and I had some friends, but it was just never the place that I wanted to be. And I almost think that like Obakai would think about like asking NEKO if she was really sure that she wants to create that link, if she doesn't want to just stay and leave everything behind, because like Obakai does not want to go back. So I think that like, I don't know. I think they throw themselves into life here as much as they can, because this is kind of what they've craved, that there's something else out there their whole life. So
let me ask you a question then.
Yes.
Do you eventually want to travel again? Do you eventually want to try and find more people? Does this eventually become the same?
I think that this is wonderful, but Obakai has had this sense in them since they were very young that there's more and more out there, that this is a whole world and we can't be the only arc just sitting here on this river, So I think maybe sometime in the future we'd see Obakai with like, the robes of like a traveler and like the Naginata and stuff, just like stalking through the wastelands, like just moving in between areas, trying to make connections with people.
With Lemieux, with you. The
yes.
upraised opossum traveling alongside, the silhouette of you in the distance. Elias, what about you? What do we see of you if we have an epilogue shot or epilogue scene?
It's definitely, I think I'm picturing a montage of working with Drist about teaching him to read and write, and and then there's the scene where he's trying to write the letters, and no, that's a B, not a P. And then he's reading a dirty joke from one of the books. And he's like, our elder had a book like that. And the last scene is me helping him write the story of us meeting.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Starting a chronicle here in words. Oh, nice. Syntax.
I think just trying to convince Bayra and Ellen to come with her, but leaving it ambiguous as to if we were able to get in or something like that.
And what do we see Ellen older then at some point?
Yeah, sure. Maybe she's like a stalker now too.
Okay. I just was curious about that. But yeah, you can certainly that had that ambiguity about that. Even as we see her as a stalker, we don't know whether she left the ship or she went to the other arc. Does that seem cool?
Yeah, I like that. Me convincing and then her out there and us not knowing. I think that's cool.
We'll probably also have a brief shot insert between you and NEKO of Silas, the original chronicler, of him standing out in the zone. And there'll be a brief moment where we see his eyes glint pink.
Oh, shit.
NEKO, what's the epilogue from you?
I think that essentially she is the one that stays back at the ship, in the sense that she stays back to get that one set up and then she goes to the other place to repair, and she takes some of the other gearheads back, and she kind of sets up that thing back and forth. But mostly she stays at the ship because in a lot of ways it is a place that they can make safe. And now that she knows more, that they have the books, as they get smarter about things, they can make it that safe place.
There's a lot of access to knowledge you did not have before. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you guys very much for the session. Becomes so busy sometimes. I like that. And that's it. That's 13 sessions down. Keith, thank you for joining us for these last couple. I hope it kind of gave you a little bit of taste of what the game is about.
Yeah, it was surprisingly satisfying ending for only being at the very last fraction of it.
I would like to, if you don't mind, to do Roses and Thorns, and it can be general about this, about play tonight, or about your character, or about how I ran, or things more you wanted to see, all of that kind of thing. And let me start with you there, Matt.
Sure, yeah. I had, definitely a lot of fun with this whole series. I mean, being there for the whole thing was very cool to see how I think over time we got really good at integrating new folks into the game and setting up interesting relationships and just seeing what they got to do for an episode or two. And I think having a constant character along for that ride is just very cool to see how they all influence the story in their own ways. So it was, I think, a really nice experiment for this kind of play, because you get so many people's touches on the same game, but there's also that cohesive feeling because there's some consistency with the players. So I thought that was a very cool idea.
Any thorns out of that though? Because I think you're hitting on one that I would have said is the first time we brought somebody in, poor Asher, that first session, we dumped a lot on him. And I don't think we did a good job of bringing him in, and I didn't do a great job of it. And I felt very bad about that. And I tried to make it smoother after that.
I think we worked with what we had, 2.5 hours and a system that was going to take some time getting things set up. I think it got a lot better later on when people had a good shell of their character ready to go, and we could just kind of get into things and get into a situation quickly, because before that we were getting used to a little more of a plodding pace, I think, because everyone was more, on board. But I think that once we started having all these guest players, I really enjoyed the pace of every every session that we pretty much got into an interesting situation really quickly, and then it was just like, all right, here's a thing to do. So I think I really like how you handled the event decks and stuff like that, like just throwing those events into the game and then getting us a lot of fuel. Like I always felt like I had a thing to do every session, which is very cool. And yeah, just supportive players. You know,
I'll come back to you on roses. Let me put a pin in that for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Keith, you've had 2 sessions. Thorns that you might see in terms of the system, about how I ran, about what we did. Anything you want to point to?
Well, let me give the good stuff first. I think the one thing was I really enjoyed I felt like there was an arc, even though it was very much smaller for me. And I think everyone did a really good. I'm rosing. As a teacher, I have to praise you before I can think. And I think that you, from what Matt just said, I think you guys must have learned a lot about breaking in new players, because the world felt lived in, but it was not an overwhelming info dump where my eyes glazed over and I said, I'm not going to be able to make any contribution to this. It's like, all right.
No, I think that's fair. I'm going to come back around to you, and you can do the other half of that.
Okay.
Frasier, thorns or roses? We're
Yeah, apparently we're fluid right now. Thorns for me is, I noticed that when I play trad systems, I don't role play as much because of the structure. It's like my min-max brain turns on and I'm just like, okay, let's go. We got to build this thing. And then after that, I'm just like, okay, let's do combat. Oh shit, I'm getting fucked up real good. Okay. And I think we all insert some RP in there when we can, but I think the structure definitely hampers it, as opposed to like PBTA where you're always RPing, right? So
don't play Cypher. I would say that's even we've been playing that Cypher system, and it even more has that where you have to kind of break into mechanics all the time. But yeah, there's a lot of mechanical bits here. I try to keep I'm torn between trying to keep the rolls to a minimum, but also people bought skills. So yeah, it's really hard. I think you're right about that. It can get in the way.
Yeah, I think you need like long sessions, and trad games are always like, hey, you're going to be playing this for the rest of your life, right? So get cozy.
Sherry, Thorns?
Yeah, I think the thing that I mourn is that we had a lot of good players come through and they didn't get their little epilogue, you know, because I would like to hear Electra's. I would like to hear how things turned out for, you know, Tark and all of those things. So I guess that's it, is maybe there are lots of little threads and stories that started and I just got to make them up myself.
That's a good point. I hadn't quite considered that. I'll say a Thorn, because I do want to give space to RP. There's some mechanics that dropped out of this game. Like I didn't focus on rot points or rot, which is a component of exploring and rolling for that and accumulating that and having to clear it, because it's a mechanic that you have to resolve at the end of a session. And I don't want, we're already doing experience. I didn't want to stop off and do that. So that, and there are a couple of other minor things that got dropped out from the game to make it smoother. That they worked fine, maybe more painful face to face when we ran it, but in an online setting, it's a little more problematic. I actually like Coriolis and Tales from the Loop that use the same base, but they strip a lot of things out. It's a lot easier in some ways, though I do like this. So that's, I guess that's my thorn. Also, sometimes the die roller was really, really horrible to you guys. So I would point to that as a thorn there. Matt, what's your final word, rose or thorn wise?
Yeah, just I think I basically agree with what you just said as far as what my thorn would be. Like the 2.5 hour sessions weren't, you know, quite enough to get all the mechanical bits out of it, or to leave a lot of space for role play. So I guess like I can imagine a 4-hour in-person session, you being able to get a nice mix of both of those. But I think what we had, you know, we didn't get to see everything in the system and we didn't get to totally flesh out our characters, but we had a nice mix, I think. And overall, you know, I thought everyone, you know, used the few things that their character was good at or that stood out about them, and those were all very interesting, and it led to a very solid picture of what every character was like that we came through. So I think the system did do a little bit there. And yeah, I just really liked the pace of every session and how everyone kind of knew their role, and everyone ended up doing cool stuff. And we encountered a lot of really interesting apocalyptic stuff that I'll probably be reusing for a while. So yeah, thanks, Lowell. That was awesome.
The best artists steal. So yeah, absolutely. Keith, things that you didn't work for you or didn't resonate or problems?
I'll Thorn now, out of order. I mean, I think, yeah, like everyone's saying, it comes down to the system. I think there are cool things about it, but it was not intuitive to me. And like the difference between attributes and skills and which ones go where. And like Fraser was saying, it did sort of take me out of things where I was like, all right, I want to do that. Now I need to, but no, oops, I deleted the D6 part. Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, okay, there it was. I actually think it's an okay system, probably, but like jumping in for that amount of time, it was like, okay, I wish this was just 2d6 plus stat, because then I would feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say I had multiple sets of the dice, of the colored different dice with the symbols when we played face to face, and so everybody had big pools of those, and that was so much easier. The online roller creates a whole set of stop, think about something different other than what you're doing, and so I think you're absolutely right about that. It's a real break in the sort of cognitive process there. Fraser, are we doing thorns or roses with you? I don't know.
Roses. Yeah, I did the thorn of the system stuff before, which is actually pretty funny because I feel the same way about this system as the quick start of Blades when it wasn't explicitly fiction first, right? Like it was always like the way that someone ran it for me. We were always going to multiple levels of system and in and out of character and stuff. But then once you read it and play it now, and it's like, this is fiction first game, you're like, apparently those are the only words I needed. But yeah, I think that the world is really cool. I really like mutations and stuff like that. There was like still some rich RP stuff going on, usually when we were like at the Arc and making projects and stuff like that. I could see it being neat over like longer sessions and having physical dice and stuff like that. If I was smarter, I might have just gone and used my Coriolis dice or something like that. I have the Coriolis one, but I don't have Mutant Year Zero. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but
they have gear dice, the black dice and the yellow dice and the green dice, so it's quite a bit different actually.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. But
you had to buy a new set, so
yeah, I thought it was like a lovely story, and I liked sort of the somewhat mysterious ending where we still don't know. Like, obviously something's going on with elders and arcs going on, and there's probably more mystery around that. But yeah, I thought it was great.
Awesome. Sherry?
I like this game, I think partially because it does change up from session to session. You have the ones at the Arc that feel very different from the ones out in the waste. It makes them feel special and separate and a little more memorable, instead of like just one big long hex crawl, and then we went into another hex. Okay. And it's not just wish fulfillment project building, and Lord knows those dice do get in the way of everything, but they also make it feel particularly satisfying when they go all right. So it's a system I like. I do like it more at the table, but I'm not supposed to be thorning. And I've really, really super enjoyed getting to play with Matt and Fraser for as many sessions as I have, and it was awesome. All the players that switched through. It was great playing with you, Keith. So very good stuff.
Yeah, I will say this for my roses. One is there's a lot of bits I love of Mutant Year Zero. I love the threat deck, and the admonition that the game makes is, as a GM, I am not to prepare. I draw a threat an hour before the game, and then I have to figure out how it integrates into the play, and that's explicit in the rules. And I really like the way the game does that, and it gives you a lot of tools to help with it. Keith, I had played with once before at Metatopia when he ran one of the coolest things I'd ever seen with this fantasy high level victory condition game that was really awesome. So I'm glad to have a chance to play with Keith. And I really like what you did with your character in just these 2 sessions. I got a strong sense of that. And then seeing Fraser and Matt, Sherry, all your characters evolve and change and kind of shift where you were going. I really dug that. That was a pleasure to watch over time. It was cool to get sustained role play with the same characters and come close to killing you a couple of times. That was also good. So just really dug that. Matt, absolute pleasure. Fraser, everybody here, just good. And some great other characters, but wow, I babbled in roses there. That was crazy. All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your playing and taking a chance on this and committing a lot of hours to it. So I can't imagine that anyone is watching this all the way to the end, but there we go.
Did you succeed with what you were trying to do with your quarterly goals?
Yeah, I did. I mean, we had kind of a beginning, middle, and end. We were able to have some players stay through and have some players come in and get a taste for the system. So I feel good about that.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to keep with the quarterly thing?
Yeah, next quarter is going to be all Blades in the Dark Eruvia.
And that's the one where you'll always give me a heads up. I remember.
Yeah. And then the third quarter will probably be Worldwide Wrestling, just because I love Worldwide Wrestling so much. And
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's probably the plan to do that. And actually, we talked about long-term play in the Gauntlet episode that we just recorded on Monday. So that'll be up, I think, next week or 2.
Cool.
Anyway, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Thank you all very much for this. Much appreciated.